So will you be hinting me, Soumya, when it starts?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, in a couple of minutes we'll start, ma'am. Actually, it's time, but I'm just waiting for the count to go
Yeah,
a
yeah,
bit
please,
more.
please. I'm just asking that you will be letting me know.
Yes,
Right?
definitely,
Okay.
ma'am.
Thank you. Anusha Mikala. Good morning, Anusha.
Good morning, ma'am.
Very good morning. Nice to hear your voice. Samreen Sultana. Ahmed, Mohammed Ahmed Ali. Sana. Amisha Patel. Naveen Kumar. Sunil Mannevaram. Ram Mohan Reddy. Sriram. M. Sriram. Venugopal. Nimish Kavi. Hema Dakshita. Sushmita. Manisha.
Ma'am, we shall start. I'll just quickly give introduction and then we'll start, ma'am.
Okay, please.
Yeah. Good morning to all the participants. I welcome you all to the 6th and final session of 1-week student development program on enhancement and enrichment of soft skills in students, organized by School of Management Studies, Srinidhi Institute of Science and Technology. On day 1, inaugural session, I promised all the participants that our sessions are directed to ensure learning and our speakers are dynamic and versatile to provide you the thoughts and directions to improve soft skills. Today's speaker is a perfect source to provide you the insights you're looking for. It's an honor to introduce our speaker for the session, a tenacious, motivated, and energetic person, Nandini Garu. Madam is actively involved in training various group of participants for over 7 years on self-empowerment programs, communication, behavioral management, attitude, listening skills, and other soft skills. Apart from being a committed trainer, Madam has a working experience of over 20 years with Wipro, Sahara Airlines, etc. in administration. Madam made her contribution to women entrepreneurs on the name of Sangamitra. Being a postgraduate in psychology and a master's degree holder in business administration, Nandini Garu has proven herself in a varied portfolio of skills. At the personal front, Madam enjoys traveling, reading, and music. We are very glad that you have readily accepted our request to be a resource person, ma'am, and provide your insights to the upcoming generation. With this note, I request Nandini Garu to please start the session. Madam, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Soumya. Thank you so much. Nothing high about me. It's absolutely fine how we carry on with our lives. Okay, and I see still students entering. Bhavani. Okay, in Jamil. Yeah. So are we waiting, Sonia, or shall we?
Ma'am, actually this continues till the end of the session. So we will be admitting ma'am because
Okay,
they will be losing some connections in between.
okay. Then can I see the students on the screen?
Uh,
At least their pictures or something like that? Because,
shall I ask them to switch on their videos, ma'am?
yeah, that would be really great. It will be more like
Uh,
an interacting thing. I can see all of them.
But actually, the problem is even our connection gets low, ma'am, because it needs too much of bandwidth for us to see the
Okay,
video.
but at least I see all their pictures on the screen, and whoever
Uh,
speaks to me, they can start their video, something like that.
yes,
Video or audio, whatever it is.
that can be done, ma'am.
Yeah.
On the top, you have a gallery view, ma'am, in your screen.
Yes. Yes.
You just click on the gallery view. You can see all of the participants.
Oh, great, great. Yeah, I think I can see them now.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
I feel more comfortable as if I'm looking at the students.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So, hello, good morning, everybody. So, I see that all of you are.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for the good morning. Okay. Today, and thanks to Srinidhi for inviting me for this talk. So let's make it as interactive as possible. I'm finding it a little odd that I'm not able to see any one of you or able to speak to you. So the best thing is, whenever I'm talking to you and you have to speak, please unmute yourself and you can start talking to me. I'm more comfortable when people talk to me rather than in a silent room. Okay. Okay. So let's start with the story, because as it is, it's like we are not face to face. So let me begin with the story. You must all have heard about Zen. Zen, I don't know how, whether you heard it or not. Okay. Zen is a Japanese form of Japanese guru. Okay, so one of the professors, he went to the Zen to ask about, like, I want to attain moksha, so help me. Now the Zen says, fine sir, we'll have a cup of tea, over the tea we'll talk. So now the Zen he's got his tray with his kettle and cups. So the Zen started pouring the tea into the cups. And the professor is observing him. The cup is half filled, now 3/4, now it's almost full, and still the Zen is pouring. So the professor got perturbed. He said, stop it, please stop it. You're going to overflow the tea. So the Zen said, so do you understand that only an empty cup can contain something? So I wish I could see your reactions on this, whether you understood the story or not. So how many of you feel that you have empty cups in this class? Can somebody say something about this? Anyone?
Ma'am, can I ask them to use the chat box?
Yeah, please, they can.
Yes. So participants, you may type your views in the chat box.
You can type, or you can just switch on your, just say unmute and tell your views. So how many of you feel that you are an empty cup in this class? Or you have already a lot of inhibitions, apprehensions, how this class is going to be, or who is going to take, or it's all going to be a time pass for 2 hours? Anybody wants to respond? I'm waiting. No one got the story? Don't tell me that. Oh, yeah. Yes, Sahiti. So you're saying that you have an empty cup. Wonderful, Sahiti. I'm glad. Even one says that, I'm very happy. So it's like, please, my request is, in your lifetime, not this class, wherever you go, don't carry a luggage with you. Don't let your brain rule over you. Keep your mind, keep your ears open for people to talk. You might, I'm not saying ki whatever you listen to, whatever people are saying, take everything, but listen to everything. And of course you can decide later. Don't stop listening. That will obstruct a lot of life from you. Even a small kid talks, do listen to them. Listen to the whole thing, whole story. And believe me, end of it, you will really have at least one point of learning, in case you are open for learning. Mind you, in case you are open for learning, there is learning everywhere. So you just have to keep yourself open, your ears, your mind, acceptance mode. So thank you, thanks for listening to the story. So now you all have to answer this question. How many of you can tell me something about communication skills? What are communication skills? No, I can't say the names. Hemant, Vivek, Manoj, Hema, Ramya. What all names I can see here, I can keep asking all of you. But the point is, you have to answer this. Okay, Sahiti, body language. Yeah, body language. And what else? In communication skills. What are communication skills?
Good morning, ma'am.
Anybody else?
Ma'am, communication.
Convey information. Yes, Rachita. Conveying information. Yes. Akshaya, communication skills play major role in day-to-day life. Yes. Yeah, they play a major role, but what are they? Are used for interacting with people. Anusha, yes. Yes. Yeah, used for interacting. Expressing one's emotions. Hemant, yes. Eye contact. Lalasa, yes. Is the act of conveying meanings from one entity to, yes, yes, Shweta, you're right. So as you all are coming up, pulling up so many answers, communication is all about communicating, conveying what we want to say through our, yes, expressing our opinion. Yes, Tanvir, wonderful. So through our eye contact, to our body language. Yeah, Shabana, you have raised your hand. You want to ask something? Shabana, are you asking me something?
Yeah, maintaining a good eye contact.
Yes, ma'am. You're right. So maintaining eye contact, body language, all this pulled together is communication skills. Yep. Okay. Now, my question is, how many of you feel that you have got good communication skills? How many of you feel that you have got good communication skills? How many of you? Hemant, yes. Okay, so you have communication skills. Anisha also, yes. Wonderful. And why not the others? Can't speak English or English fluently? Akshaya, yes. Okay, you can't speak English fluently. Okay, that's your problem. Shravani, yes, do have good communication skills. Anybody who feels that they can't speak English fluently? Daya, okay. Sorry, I can't see this message. Okay, Akshaya also has good communication skills. Okay. Yeah, Anisha. Wonderful. So I think I'm talking to a real great group here. So anybody who feels that because they can't speak English fluently or their English is bad, because of that, their communication skills are bad. Anybody feels that way? Somebody is writing, and just a minute. I can't see. Yes. Okay. Anybody who feels, just say yes. Anyone who feels English is a problem? Yeah. Okay. Okay. I'm getting them. Yes. Okay. Let's say some of you, because the answers what I got, with that I'm answering this. Those who got it, wonderful. I see from the answers that some of you got this point, what I'm asking. Now the others, the point is, do you know your mother tongue? Do you speak in your mother tongue fluently? Yeah. Yes. Yes, Lalsa. Okay. Yes, Kotesh. Good. So you speak your mother tongue fluently. You express whatever you want in your mother tongue. Do people understand when you say that? Whatever you say, do they understand? Yes. So it means you have got good communication skills. If you don't have communication skills, they can't understand you. So the problem lies only with your language. Now, how many of you know a French language or German? Anybody? French or German or Russian language? No one knows? No, 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 no. So many knows. So no one knows Russian, I'm sure, or German. Okay. Now, anybody who wants to go to Germany and live there or study there, what will you do? What will you do if you have to go to Germany and live there? Or, I mean, you want to study? You learn German. Great. Simple answer. Wow. So you will learn German. We have to learn. So why not English? English is a foreign language. It's not our mother tongue. It's not spoken anywhere in our country. Not mother tongue of any of the states, I'm sure. If I'm wrong, correct me. So English also is a foreign language. So if you don't know a language, yeah, I'll come to that, Hemant. That's the rule to be followed in that country. No, I can't, I'll not believe in that rule. Yeah, but we communicate in English to have a common language. That is all. It's just a common language. So if it is foreign language, we can always learn it, just like we learn German, or we learn French if needed. English is needed, so we will learn English. We will not make it into a big thing which we can't reach, or we are not able to learn, or we can't make it fluent. A simple thing what I can say is, vocabulary is so huge. When I go to my grave, I'll be learning new words even that day. So don't bother about like how many words we are using, or we are not able to use the right words. We don't have good grammar skills. Everything depends on your practice. How you work with your English, how you're going to learn English depends on that. So in case you are like very sincere, you want to do it in just like that, you can do it. Just do it in a month's time. But it depends on how much practice, how much sincere efforts you are putting into it. That is important into this. I hope you all are getting what I'm saying. Actually, it's very difficult to speak only without any communication happening. So I'd like to add just 3 crucial points into this. Now, the first, as I was saying, you communicate in your mother tongue. So your communication skills are good, no doubt about it. Now, the second point is you're trying to speak English in your language. Like the way we speak our mother tongue, that is how we are speaking English. That is called mother tongue influence. So the problem starts there because you don't have a proper accent. English accent is not present. You feel your English is bad. So the simple point here is how to improve your accent. You can work on it. There's a very there are tips to work on that, and the listening is one big thing that can happen if you want to improve your accent. Accent improvisation, you might listen to good speakers continuously. I would prefer somebody from BBC or British background than an American background in case you want to learn English with a good accent. The point is, if you have decided to move to US or you're going to USA, then yeah, American accent does help you, but American accent has a lot of slang. So to begin with, it might be difficult for you to get into it. So that's my suggestion, my perception that British English is correct. So you decide whether you want to pick whichever it is. Pick up a good speaker through your YouTubes. You have got a lot of speakers who keep talking, or a news reader, and try to pick their accent. It is simply, I'm saying, copy paste. So listen to the accent, listen to the words, how they are speaking. For example, very simple vowels: awkward, third, all. I'm giving these examples from my previous experience. Okay, if no one falls into this category, please excuse me. But then how they are pronounced? They are pronounced like tal for tall, awkward, that, a, or. These vowels are missing in the accent. That is where you have problems with your English accent. So when you keep listening to good speakers, I mean, you can, I'm not sure, like YouTube you must be having, or pick up from BBC News readers. If you listen to them, try and listen only to one or two. Don't pick up too many of them again. Then you will be confusing with their own accents. So pick from there and start repeating the words, so that your mother tongue influence is cut from there. Are you all getting what I'm trying to say? And if you have any questions or any points to add to what I'm saying, please do add it. I'll be happy. Yes or no? Yeah. Are you all okay with what I'm saying? Please keep typing or say through your audio or video. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Fine. Thanks Akshay. Thanks Anusha and Ramya. Thank you so much. So yeah, so anybody has any questions about this, please stop me. Even if I'm speaking, stop me if you have a question. We'll answer that and we'll continue. Yeah. Okay, Shweta. Thank you, Shweta. Thank you, Mohammed. So now the second part I was saying is, you speak your language, English like your language. That is the second point. And the third point is, when you are reading English, when you read something, how do you read it? If you have some, say, a text like, once upon a time there lived a king who ruled his kingdom in a nice way. This is how we read. While we read it, we read each word separately. Now, while speaking English, especially Americans, they don't break at all. They don't spell one word at a time. It's like, where's bro? Where's Rita? So when you read it, it will be, where is Rita? Are you getting it? So always when you are reading English, that is not what you speak. Don't ever be under the impression that we are able to read English so neatly, smoothly, not with no spelling mistakes. It doesn't mean that your accent also is that. Okay, accent is different and your reading style is different. Yes, got it? Okay, now the three crucial points I wanted to add to your thing and communication skills. We talked a little bit about that. Now coming to, let's say I'm bored of now with my voice. Can you come up with the problems that you have when you want to talk? Like, how many of you are okay with do breaking of sentences? No, better, no. I'll try to note down. No negative impression if you are breaking. It's very simple. As I started, it's a foreign language. So you want to speak, then the best way is, yeah, Venu, please, can you just wait. I'll finish off with the first doubt, then I'll come to this. No negative thinking about it. Nobody will, because no one has the time in the world to think negative about you. Okay, so the negativity will talk about it. When you are speaking and your voice breaks, it is because either you don't have the matter with you readily, or your English vocabulary issue. Is that what? Can you mention the reasons why you said negative things? Negative impression? Yeah. You said it'll be a false impression. It will not be a false impression at all. You practice and you will overcome that. And now you're listening to me for so long, more than half an hour now. Don't you think I'm stopping? I pause. I search for words. I look for words. Everybody does that. So don't get hassled about it. Okay, now let's start writing those reasons. What is that stops you from speaking, either in public or English or whatever it is? I'm talking about in English speaking, of course, is the one that comes up. Fear. Yeah, fear. Fear of what? Thinking that we may speak wrong. Thinking we may speak anything wrong. Okay. I'm writing down. Anything wrong? Yeah. And stage fear. Yeah. Stage fear. Can you be more clear about why stage fear? What people will think if we speak wrong? Facing the people. Yeah. What is that, facing the people? Audience will laugh. Okay. Audience will laugh. Sometimes not getting the proper words. Yeah. Sometimes not getting proper words. And guilty of talking in front of others. Okay. Struck in speaking. Somebody wrote something else before this. Sorry, I missed it. Can they repeat? Or maybe, yeah, I'll go to the chats and check that. Wait. Sometimes struck in speaking, not having the right circle of people. Priya, not having the right circle. Okay. Grammar mistakes, vocabulary, worried of being ignorant. Okay. Oh yeah, I got a lot of questions. Good. The people around us may not know English. Yeah, that also is there. And thinking of it will give it. Okay, lack of confidence. Shaking of body. Yes. Yeah. Now, all of you, can you see these chat messages, or is it that only I am able to see?
Only you, ma'am.
Only I can see. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
It's fine. Anyway, I'll keep reading each one of them and then we'll try and clear them. Great. I'm glad so many are speaking. I got a lot of options. I'll start with the first one. Actually, I need not write it. It's here in the chat. Yeah. Fear. Fear of, as I understood the rest what they have written, it is about either fear of people laughing. You can correct me, Soumya. I'm expecting it as fear of people laughing at you or not knowing the language, or that you might fumble. If it is more than this, you can type. Okay. So now we'll start with the first point. Fumbling with the language. There are two things to it. You have grammar issue and you have vocabulary issue. Now grammar, as I told you, you start learning, be sincere. If you are sincere and put all your efforts in, less than a month, English grammar can be learned. Now, remember one thing. How many of you want to be a writer? Then it is a different story altogether. While speaking, it is different. You need not have like the whole English complete grammar, past present participles, and in depth of that, you don't need it while speaking. Let me tell you. Anybody wants to be a writer? Somebody said yes. Priya, you want to be a writer? Okay. Then Priya, you need to get in detail about grammar. Okay, because writing English is different and speaking English is different. Speaking English, you need to be fluent about what you're speaking. All grammar need not be the perfect and accurate grammar. There is a site which I refer to all students, and I tell you it is really, really very much helpful for basic English. It is talkenglish.com. You want me to type here? I'll type that so that you don't get wrong. Talkenglish.com. Now in this there is something called basics. Did only Anusha get it, or did you all get the message? Talkenglish.com.
Ma'am, I'm typing it for everybody.
Please do that, Soumya.
Yes.
Thank you. So this talkenglish.com, it has a lot of options, but you can go for English grammar basics. There is one option, and English speaking basics. So in these two options, again, you have got a lot of, it's not an app, Priya, it's a website. So I'm not sure if they've started an app also. You can check it in the website. Now, how they run, it is like 3 basics English 1, basics English 2, 3. You've got 3 chapters, and in each one, you have almost 30 lessons. But they're all like very small lessons with the audio. So when you press the audio, you can listen to what they're saying, so that you don't err with the voice, I mean with the words, with the way they are speaking. So this helps a lot with your grammar. Okay, I'm sure this you all will really work with this. It's a very, very fine site which I worked with my students a lot. Now coming to your vocabulary. How do you improve your vocabulary? How do you think you can improve your vocabulary? Anybody? Even one answer, I'll be happy. Anybody wants to say? Oh yeah, reading books, newspapers, novels, practice reading newspaper, referring to dictionary, listening. Wonderful. So answer is with you. The more you read, the more vocabulary you have. So the secret is in your hands. You have to learn grammar, you have to learn vocabulary. Now there are no shortcuts to this. I'm sorry to say, I can't put words into your brain. What I can do is a tip to improve your vocabulary. The point is, you all must be feeling that so many times we keep reading, but you can't really remember the words. You can't reuse the words. So that is where the tip comes in. Every day, read anything that you want, but make a note of at least 10 words. At least 10 words. I'm saying minimum 10. If you all are that energetic people and really, really loving to learn English fast, make as many words as possible, not just this. Okay, so 10 words and write their meaning next to it and use them into sentences. You write the sentences also. Make that word into sentence. 1, 2, 3 sentences samples so that you understand the word meaning and you're able to relate it. Because if you have seen Google synonyms, there is one disadvantage in that. You've got 10 words popping up, but all 10 can't be used in the same context. They have to be used in different contexts. So get the word, write the meaning that you understood and make sentences. Make sure that you use those words on the same day. Same day you have to use those words. Whatsoever happens, you keep using those words even if you don't need to. Try and make that situation, create that situation and start using those words. And after a month, come back to me, any one of you come back to me and say that your vocabulary is bad, I'll stop training. You will have wonderful vocabulary. So your two problems solved now, your grammar and your vocabulary, both are gone. Okay, now coming to the next issue of it. Vocabulary mistakes, not having the right circle of people. Priya, when you are not in the right circle of people, we will not talk. I'm so glad you all are so wonderful, so I'm talking to you. Imagine if I don't have students around me, I wouldn't be talking. So don't worry about right circle of people. Where you have to, only then speak. Okay. And have I answered your query, Priya? If you still have a doubt, you can come back. Now,
Ma'am, I have a doubt.
yes, go on, Priya.
But ma'am, we need to practice any language on everyday basis to become better at it. But when
Yes.
you don't have people around us who don't answer in English, though we speak in English, what should we do?
It is for you are speaking. It is not for them. For example, I'm saying in say students coming from rural background, parents don't know English. They may not have siblings around, so who speak English. Okay. So what you are doing, just you are talking to them. Tell them the sentence. You want to use the word vocabulary, or say you want to use the word ignorant. All of you learned the meaning ignorant that day and you want to use the word ignorant. Just use the word ignorant. Amma, Appa, you are like ignorant about my accounts. Or, and then tell them translate that if you want to. If you don't want to, don't even translate. You want to communicate. So just keep telling them, telling people. Why I say telling people is that makes you feel you're communicating. Or if you don't have people around, the best friend is your mirror. Stand in front of the mirror, have a good conversation with the mirror. And the best practice is, even if you're silent all through the day, unless you're like fast asleep, those 6-7 hours, your mind is always talking. Yes, I know the answer is yes. It is always talking. So talk that in English. You don't need a person. All through the day, your brain is saying something or the other. Everything should be in English. You sleep English, you talk English, you eat English, you drink English for the next 1 month. Everything will be fine. Now, am I clear, Priya? Or still do you have any doubt? Priya?
Clear, ma'am.
I hope Priya got her answer. Yeah. Good, Priya. You should always think in English. That is what I'm saying. Always think in English and talk to the mirror. Make a conversation. You can pick up a subject. This is for all of you. You can pick up a topic, any topic that really you like to start with. Don't go for dry topics. Whatever topics you like, pick those topics and have two people in that, one you and one in the mirror, and start talking. You say for it, they'll say against it. So you get a lot of words also. Okay? Okay. Now going to the next problem. Now people might laugh, hoping that the opposite will be unable to understand. Hemant, you wrote hoping that the opposite will be unable to understand is what I cleared just now. Is that yes? Then just say yes. Like others don't understand, then how to do it? I think I've answered that. Yes? Hemant, are you there? Okay, I'll take the answer as yes in case it is yes. Okay, just a minute. Yes, okay. Thanks, Hemant. So, now coming to worried of being ignorant. Okay, Soumya. Worried of being ignorant. Now, how much do we expect from people? Now, worried of being ignorant and others might laugh, almost the same. Like you are depending on XYZ. Okay? You're talking about XYZ sitting there and either ignoring you or laughing at you or teasing you or commenting on you. Okay? I'm putting all of them into one box. I hope that's okay with all of you. Now, my point is, you want to speak. You are trying to present yourself. Is that clear? Now, how much you want to live their life? XYZ have their own life. They're coming there. Either they're ignoring or they're laughing at you or they're teasing you. They're not going to carry it with them. They're doing it at that instance. After that, they're not bothered. But what are you doing? You are taking that XYZ, putting them on your head, in your bag, and you're carrying them forever. You're talking about them. You're thinking about them. You are constraining yourself. You are not letting yourself to be what you are just because of that XYZ who don't even care about you. It's not. I'm not saying that they don't care about you in the sense not connecting with you. I'm not saying that. Care about you is even you. If you observe from today, you observe it. When you laugh at others, when somebody of your friends are saying something, you tease them, you laugh, you leave it there. Or do you keep on like pricking them every moment? Every moment do you go back to them and tell them that they were wrong, you were wrong, you were wrong? Do you do that? Do you, if you are ignoring somebody somewhere, does that mean that you're totally disconnected with them? No, it's not that. If they're ignoring at that moment, maybe they have 100 things on their mind. If they're teasing you, if they're laughing at you, it is just out of fear. There is nothing here for them. Whereas we try to create lot of space for them, lot of space for this negative impressions in us. And then we stop presenting ourselves. So the best way is take people like that. They all are there in your life, who smile at you, who tease you, who ignore you. They all are there. So don't carry them with you. Just be there. Whatever you want to say, just work on that rather than working on them. Working on an external factor, work on your internal factor where you have a control. You can control your mind. You can control yourself. You can make your brain understand that this is all nonsense on what you're working. Can you control others? Okay, you might tell, if you have a small group of friends, you can tell them, please don't laugh. I'm feeling little inhibited. So fine. But what after that? What after those 5? When you go to bigger groups, you might go to, every time you meet a stranger, what will you do? Every time you'll go and request the stranger, please, please don't be ignorant with me. Please look at me. Please smile at me. Don't laugh at me. We can't do that. Impossible in life. So stop working on others. Start working with yourself. That will help a lot. Is my question answered? I mean, your question answered, or any doubts on that? Or anybody wants to talk about it? I'll be very happy. Yes, Kana. Yes, Hemant, you're absolutely right. It is all about negative thinking. As I said, yeah, Soumya, it hurts, but when you take it, it will hurt. So my request is, don't take it. Why you want to accept it and get hurt? Thanks, Anisha. Thank you so much. So don't take it to heart, Soumya. Now, do you still want to say that it will hurt, Soumya? I want to clear it. Will it hurt even now? Tell me. Wonderful, Soumya. Thank you so much. I'm really happy. Now take my example. I go to a class, and usually I'm not that regular lecturer where I go for years together to the same students, and no, it always happens. My sessions are for 20 days, 25 days. So the first day I walk in, and obviously I see that some students are think that you're not here to convince everyone to understand. Anusha, the last thing I do is I convince people. Please, no convincing at all. You want to understand, you want to live your life happy. If I can make a difference, I am happy. If you don't want to understand things, then absolutely your choice. Okay? So I'm not here to convince. I'm here to show you all a mirror. So see the mirror. If you're happy, accept it. Okay? So what I was saying, if I go to a class, I don't expect all 30 students to look at me, smile at me, and say that, yeah, please welcome, we are ready to take you. No. Obviously, there are backbenchers who resist me a lot. Now imagine if I walk into a classroom and say that they're resisting me, they're not looking at me, they're ignoring me, they don't like me. Obviously, they don't like me. So if I do that, what about the rest 10 or 15 who want to listen to me, who started liking me? Am I not disturbing them? Yeah, I got it, Anusha. So am I not disturbing them? Think about it.
Yeah, ma'am, I have been given an example for the before conversation of the people who are asking you the questions.
Yeah.
Actually, they are saying that someone will be laugh at me while I'm speaking out. So you should not think about the others who have been laughing at. You should take it as an inspiration to talk well for the next time.
Yeah. Yes, that is what I'm saying. Now listen to this example completely. Maybe you'll get to your answers too. Now, what I do is I don't ignore the last benches just because they are ignoring me. Okay, they're resisting me. I don't even leave them there. Okay, because for me, this first 15 or 20 are important because they're listening to me. So the first day, the second day, I talk to them, but I concentrate on the last benches. I make them understand what is so important in my class. And I see to it that in the 1 or 2 days, because I don't have a lot of time, I have only 20 days session. So within a day or two, I see to it, at least 99% of the class are concentrating on what I'm saying. So if people are laughing or ignoring you, first I'm not saying it will not hurt or don't bother. Keep them there. But concentrate on people who are actually looking at you, who want you to improve, who are ready to support you. Be with them and try to impress them. That you can do. Okay, Anusha?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah, good. So, yeah, going to the next doubt. What was the next doubt? There are too many chats, so I have to go back. Stage fear. If it was to speak on a stage. Okay, stage fear. Yeah, I understand. You have butterflies in your tummy, Akshay, when you go onto the stage? Yeah, that's what happens to most of them. Believe me, I too have stage fear. So, stage fear itself has the word fear. So first, remove that fear out of it. Now, how to remove? You want to speak on the stage, right? You want to do it. Then just start doing it. Now, what you are doing to the stage fear, you are adding stories. Like, what if I trip my leg on the step and while getting onto the stage? What will happen if the mic doesn't work? From there, you are adding a million questions before getting onto the stage. Stop doing that. Okay? Train your brain. All the time, you need to tell your brain that, yes, I want to speak on the stage. Period. That is it. Only thing if it is a stage and you're addressing a lot of audience, I mean, then only care you need to take is you should be aware of the topic. Take care of that. That is important. If you are aware of the topic and you have some points, there's a tip for that. You can make small cardboards, not papers. Papers keep flowing away, bending away. So cardboards in the size of a visiting card, okay, you can just make them. And on that, you can write key points. Like the first point, for example, if you're on the stage, you're talking about, say, your favorite person. So what do? You can say intro. Intro is the key point. So you have that card on first on the top. And while talking, that would be a style also, just removing the card and putting it back. Nobody would really observe that when you are speaking. Try to mesmerize people with your speech so that they don't observe your hands. So intro, what is the intro you want to talk? You're going to tell them about, like, this is the topic I'm going to discuss today, and that is about the favorite person. Now going to the next keyword, like what is the relationship you have with the person you're going to talk to. And the next keyword can be about their strengths, and next keyword can be about the way they motivated you. So you write the key points and keep them handy while going on to the stage. So just while talking, you can always flip through the cards and keep looking at them and continue. So you're not cut off with the topic. You're going point by point. That takes care of it. And as I said, you have to be a little prepared with what you need to speak. So first, you need to understand that no questions added when you have to speak on the stage. Don't add any questions while getting onto the stage. Just say, I'm going to go stand on the stage and talk. Now there is a point here, like there are two chances. One is people get comfortable when they look at everybody. And the second is some of them are really scared to look at anyone. One eye contact and again. The point is, if you are looking, glaring, if you're staring at somebody into the eye, you get a little fumbled. you get disturbed. So do avoid staring at anyone, whoever it is. Even if your parents are sitting there in front of you, don't stare at them. They'll disturb in one way or the other. So the best is just stand where you are and have a glance from this corner to the complete audience. You're not actually having eye contact with anybody, but you're having eye contact with everyone. People feel that you're looking at them. So just have a complete eye contact with all of them. By the end of the stage, again, you're going back to the other side. So your body language improves. It looks good that you're looking at everybody, and your stage fear will not be there because you're not looking at anybody. So you're not scared anymore. Try this out. What you can do is make small groups of friends, 10, 15, and every day do it. All your stage fears will be out if you do it sincerely. My point always is, whatever I speak, if you are honest and sincere, all my points work. No doubt about it. So for a week, make a group of 10 or 15 of your friends. And every day, like all 10 of you can pick 10 different topics and then talk in front of them. Stand in front of them, talk to them. That will slowly, once you are like okay with those 5, 6 of them, brush them off. Make 5, 6 new friends. And making new friends, I'm insisting. How many of you have this tendency of sitting together with, always do you sit with your friends in your classrooms? You have your own group, 4 or 5 of you? Since you are young, I'm asking, do you do that? You just raise your hands. I think I can see it on the pictures. Raise your hands. You not type it also. Now I understood that also. Oh, 4, 5 new. Okay. Hemant, Anusha, Lalsa are saying no. So every time you go into a classroom, do you sit alone or do you sit with, whom do you sit with? No, ma'am, I'll definitely not sit with one group. Mostly alone. Okay. Okay, Hemant, I got it. Maybe we should have one-to-one talk. Mostly alone. Okay. How do you sit? Like Anusha or Lalsa, can you explain? Alone with or with anyone. So you don't have any friends whom you want to sit with? Okay. But with someone else, Anusha. Okay. Because the general habit is like everybody wants to, they have their own friends, 3, 4 or 10. So you keep shifting with those 10. Yes, we have interaction, but very less. So around 10 of the group in a class, you keep shifting with those 10, or is it that every time you go, you sit with new students? I'll take the average, like new one every time. I'm really glad somebody is saying every time you sit, you are sitting with a new one. Do you talk with them? Do you talk? Do you make friends with them? Wonderful, Hemant. Then sitting alone is a good thing. Yes, good. So why I asked you this is, if you are making friends with new groups, if you are able to make friends with strangers easily, then talking on a stage or anywhere should not be a problem at all. The problem is if you have a stage fear, or if you have a to speak to somebody, fear, it means you're not able to mingle with strangers. So if you are able to mingle with strangers, then the problem should not arise at all, because on a stage you have only strangers around you. If anybody is out of this, they can ask, raise their questions. That everybody is comfortable with the strangers. Yeah. And coming to the next question. Yes, again a new message. Yeah. I got it, Anusha. Great. Thinking we may speak anything wrong. Okay, Rachita, you asked me what if you go wrong? So have I answered this question? The first one, grammar, vocabulary, and you should, if you are okay with them, just go ahead and start speaking. From today itself, you start speaking to them, then at least you'll know that, oh my God, am I making too many errors? Then let me improve myself. So you'll start working on your grammar and vocabulary even more faster. Okay, so start talking. First, don't start thinking so much about being wrong. Yeah, let me check the questions. Any more questions? Do breaking of sentences create a negative impression? Absolutely no. Thinking we may speak anything wrong, I answered that. And stage fear, I've answered. What people will think, that we have done. Facing the people, audience love, that we have done. Not getting proper words, yes. Guilty of talking in front of people. Ramya, can you explain, or did you get your answer already? You have to answer this, Ramya. What is the answer? Rachita, you have answered. Ramya, yeah, you got your answer. Great. Thanks, ma. So, any other questions I have not answered? Priya, you said you have started writing but have no confidence to publish. You have to write, if you're into writing habit, and give it for editing to somebody whom you think that they're good writers, or anybody. Give that for editing. Surely, before publishing, you have to give it for editing. Even a small article, once you get that used to it, then start publishing. Okay? Yeah. Have I answered all your questions? Or is there anybody else who have any doubts on this? I think that, yeah, I think I've answered all. Manoj, most of the Russian or Japanese people do not know English. By studying their mother tongue, they have become. Absolutely. Yeah, Manoj. See, Russians, Japanese, they're not bothered about English, and they're so happily living. And rather, they're developing. They're good. Japanese are doing wonders. So, yeah, personal opinion is the right way to end, Manoj. I'm happy. Even though I have stage fear, I can speak out to improve myself. Yeah, Anusha, as I said, you have to get rid of that fear word from stage. Separate them and start speaking, start improving yourself. Obviously, you'll be on stage one day. So till you attach that fear word to the stage, it will always remain there with you. Okay? Okay. So, good. It was, I think I've addressed many queries about your fears, not existing fears. I should say this. They don't exist. There are something called factuals, and there's something called artificial fear. Now, the fact fears are like you are hurt, or you fell down and you have a wound and that is hurting you. That is a fact. You can feel it. You burnt your hand. You can feel it. So that is that. Anisha, I'll answer this. Now, what is an artificial fear? Some people have got fear while crossing the road. Maybe that car will come and hit me. Or sitting here, seeing the lizard on the wall, it will fall on me. So it is actually, lizards are not meant to fall down. Okay. But still that fear, it might happen. Things are not happening. But in that artificial fear, we pull ourselves a lot down. So my suggestion, my request is, know your fears, how real they are and how artificial they are. Now I'm talking about lizards. Let me tell you a fact of my life. Some years back, now I lost it almost 8-9 years back. But before that, I had such a phobia for lizards. I never spelled it from my mouth. I never. And believe me, I'm sitting here, and if it was there somewhere at the back, I could sense it. People used to wonder, how can you see that? You didn't even turn back. You didn't know that, but you knew that there is a lizard. I could sense. I was so bad at it. I was so sensitive for it, that there's a lizard at the back. And then I used to like sweat from here. The whole part, my whole spinal, everything used to like, it was so bad on me, my nervous system. So the day I realized I'm not acting funny. Yeah, we all have our fears. But because of that, I trained my daughter to fear something. So the day I realized, I said, oh my God, my fear, I'm training my daughter also to fear something. So that day I decided, whatsoever happens, I'm going to face a lizard. And now I'm happy sitting here. It's not there right now, but then even if it is there around, I'm okay. I just go around the house, I work, nothing troubles me. Nothing. Even if it crawls on the ground, I'm okay. I just sit up. But I worked on my fear. So you need to work on our fears. Only we can help. Nobody can help in this. Remember, don't expect help from somewhere outside. No. You have to train yourself. There are tips. You can connect with me later to know the tips on how to overcome fears. Always I'm available. So we'll talk about that then. So stage fear or anything that you fear, you have to cut it. Okay, now Anisha, you are asking, is it too fast or too slow speaking effect on the communication? It depends on the subject. It depends on the audience. For example, if I'm talking to the students, I'm a little slow. I want all my words to reach you. But if I'm talking in a corporate meeting or something, I'm not this slow. I go at a different pace because they understand that language. So communication is effective when it reaches the audience. Fast or slow, it's not that. It is your understanding. You should understand your audience. According to them, you should have your communication. Am I clear, Anisha? Okay. Now, I wanted to ask you all one question. How many of you feel that what all aspects are there in communication? Can you tell me? Like somebody was saying eye contact. From there, can we start? What all aspects are there in communications? First, second, third, quickly. Interaction. Interaction through. Interaction is communication. No, speaking, listening is the communication. I'm saying what all aspects are there involved in communication. How do you communicate? How do you communicate? Eye contact, somebody said. Voice, yeah, voice, language, and voice and language. I got 2. Okay, the third one is, yeah, posture, body language. Exactly, I got it right. Krishna, Rachita, good. Body language, voice, and your voice. These 3 aspects cover your communication circle. Now, what is the, if you have to split, how much effect your vocabulary has and your body language and your voice has over your communication? Can anybody tell? The percentage, like how much percentage you would give for body language? How much percentage you would give to body language, voice, and language? There are 3. Language is the vocabulary. 90% body language, wonderful. Krishna is saying 90% body language. 90% body language. Anybody else? Okay, Anisha says all 3 play equal role. %90 body language. Again, one more issue. Good. 9% is voice. Krishna is saying voice has only 9%. Very good. Okay. Soumya, can I share my screen? Yeah, it's a
Yes,
share
ma'am.
screen. Is there? If I click that, will it share with all the students?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm just sharing. All of you can enjoy the first slide.
Yes, we are able to see, ma'am.
Can you see?
Yes, ma'am.
So, how's that? It is 7% vocabulary. Wow. And somebody was saying 7% voice. It is 55% your, wait a minute. How can I see my screen? I'm not able to see that. The chats.
Ma'am, you have to change it from gallery view to speaker view.
Okay. I'm sorry, I need to. Anyway, I think I can still see that. Okay. Now, yep. Now I can't ask all of you to do this exercise. I will do it. You have to tell me the meaning. Okay, keep typing. Even I get 1 or 2, I'll take it as all of you have understood. There's a sentence here. I did not say Rita stole my pen. That is the sentence. Okay, all of you. Now, listen to my voice carefully. I did not say Rita stole my pen. What is the meaning? I did not say Rita stole my pen. Even one answer, we can go to the next. What is the meaning of the sentence? No one got the meaning of the sentence? Yeah, I am not saying that Rita stole my pen. Okay. Now listen to it. I did not say Rita stole my pen. I did not say Rita stole my pen. Meaning could be I wrote somewhere. I did not say it.
Listen of the absentees of the 31st August.
Sorry, somebody is saying something. I'm not able to hear.
Right. 9:20.
Okay, I'll extend the sentence. I did not say Rita stole my pen. I did not say Rita stole my pen. Now what is the meaning?
Ma'am, you didn't mean to say that Rita stole your pen.
Yeah, someone else stole my pen. Okay, got it. Now the sentence is, I did not say Rita stole my pen. Now what is the meaning? She did not steal my pen. She just took it. Yes or no? I did not say Rita stole my pen. Then I'm saying that, am I saying Rita did not steal? She just took it. Yes? Now I'm saying I did not say Rita stole my pen is over. I did not say Rita stole my pen. All of you don't try to make out meanings. Just listen to what I am saying and tell me the meaning. I'm saying I did not say Rita stole my pen. She just used her pen. So now I'm saying I did not say Rita stole my pen.
Okay, so she stole someone else's pen.
Else's pen, yes. Simple. She stole somebody else's pen. If you all want to try this out, you can write this sentence, and every word when you are speaking, if you insist on that, you will understand that sentence is this 7 or 8 letters, but you can you see that it's really the whole meaning is changing 6 or 7 times. When I say I did not say, so it means somebody else said Rita stole my pen, and then said I'm saying I did not say it, so which means I did not say. Maybe I wrote or I typed or whatever it is, and then I'm saying I did not say Rita stole my pen, so it is not Rita, somebody else stole my pen. Are you getting it? The best example, I think you all will understand this easily, very easily. Okay, when you talk to your parents, when you're telling your parents about, your mother walks in and she's saying she saw you with your phone. Says you're again with your phone. So how do you react? Anyone can tell me this quickly. No one? Don't tell me that your parents are like happy seeing you with phone all the time.
I will say, I just took my phone.
Very sweet. Who is that? I actually, Soumya, I'm not able to see the whole screen. Why? Any problem?
Ma'am, when you screen share, actually, you will not be able to see, ma'am. Once you stop the screen share, you will be able to see.
Okay, I've stopped sharing this.
Yeah, and you use
Okay.
the gallery view, ma'am. Just type on the gallery view, you'll be able to see all the participants.
Yeah, I got it.
Right.
Thank you. So, yeah, somebody was saying, very sweet child. Who is that? Who was saying that?
It was Anjum. Anjum, ma'am.
Anjum. Very nice, Anjum. Good answer. I know all of you give the same answer because I keep getting that answer a lot. So I just was holding the phone and you walked in. And unfortunately, it always happens that somebody walks in and your mom or dad walks in, you are holding the phone. And rather, that is the only time you're holding the phone.
This will happen.
Yeah, partially, yes. Okay, Shweta, I'll take it. Now, how do you say that? Amma, please, I was holding it only now. Yes or no? My expressions. I'm not good at acting, but yes. Is the expression same? Amma,
No.
please. I was holding it only now. According to you, you are feeling that you are just telling her that it is, I'm holding it now. But according to your mom, what she sees, what she listens to is different. Yeah. Okay. What you can do about this exercise is, from now, keep observing your parents, your friends, your siblings. They are saying something and you are listening something. Most of the times, 90 times, we have communication gaps because of this. So voice is everything in communication. Voice and body language. You show everything on your through your body language, and then you expect people to say that, yeah, it is okay, because according to you, you're using only words. We all do that, not just you. Everybody does that. We are thinking that we are using words, but while using our voice and body language, we actually express what we want. And that is what world is saying. Remember that. So have a control over your body language. That is very, very important. And your voice. So be sincere about what you're saying. Don't try to say that I'm using words. Words have nothing. I don't know how many of you really watch movies, but there is a movie, old movie, Koshish. If somebody wants to understand communication skills, I think all of you should watch that movie. It's a Sanjeev Kumar. I don't know. Anybody knows that name? Sanjeev Kumar and Jaya Bhadri. They are in the movie. It's a very sweet movie. Both of them are dumb and deaf. The hero and heroine both are dumb and deaf. The only help is this girl's mom, and she dies. So these two have got only one friend who is blind. So how these three people connect, how they live, how they communicate. And the movie, it's like the unfortunate twist is they lose their son. That boy is too young. He's crying, and these two, they can't listen. He just walks out and crawls out, and he falls in some. Anyway, that's they lose their son. Then they call this blind friend and say that, why don't you come and live with us? Because we are not able to listen to what our child is saying. So it is becoming difficult. That's how the blind person comes and stays with them. And they three, again, they have a son. And this boy grows up into a handsome young man, healthy, handsome young man with these three people. He learns, he's good at academics, and everything is fine. So communication skills is something wonderful. We need not have words to add to that. Okay, yeah. So and Soumya Garu, how much time I have to start?
Ma'am, the scheduled time is 11 o'clock, but if you
Yeah.
have anything to share, I'm sure the participants would be interested to know.
So let the participants tell whether we want to continue or they want to stop at 11. Okay, one. How many participants are there, Soumya, today?
Today the count is 95, ma'am. So if we leave aside the faculty of our department, probably there will be some around 85.
85. So let's say I'll take 10 years and then I'll continue. So I got already 3. Oh, 4. Thank you. Thank you so much. So it's going on interesting. Wonderful. Again, yes. Thanks, Hemant. So, yeah, then let's continue with your communication skills. What is important in communication skills? What is the important factor? We talked about what involved in communication, that is body language, voice, and this. Now, what is that important factors you have?
Self-confidence to speak.
Self-confidence and belief, and what all you need compulsory that for communication skills you need to have that. Leave about the dumb and deaf story. Courage to express, yeah. How about listening skills? There is something called read, write, LSRW. All of you must have heard about it. LSRW. Yes, listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Okay, so maybe we'll conclude with this 4: listening, reading, listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Listening is the most important. Now imagine I'm not looking at any one of you, and you also just not very completely you're looking at somebody or anything. It is only by listening. You're listening to my voice, and then you felt like you can continue with the class. So how much you are concentrating, it is only through listening. So I would really suggest that whenever you are listening, it can be yeah, concentration is the thing. So concentration, but because of listening you are getting it. Okay, you are concentrating, so you are listening, and you're listening, so your concentration is holding. Both ways. The listening skills, don't be judgmental about anything. Like you go to a class, you are listening to your parents. Every day they might be telling you the same thing: come back home soon, don't waste money, or don't look at the phone for too long, don't watch too many movies, etc., etc., etc. What I'm saying is, every time you listen to them, don't say that I'm listening to the same old story every day. Have you ever thought for a moment, what is it happening? Okay, I'm listening to the same thing every day. From your end, you are listening to a professor, to a lecturer, and you won't find it interesting. You don't want to listen to it. You just want to relax. Why? Why is it you are feeling that? Have you ever thought about that? You have judged enough of others. Mom is this, dad is this, your lecturer is this. I understand they all are that. We all are that. क्या करें? वैसे बने. तो हम ऐसे हैं. But what about you? Why is it that a lecturer is able to impress some and not others? If it is not an interesting topic according to you, so who is the loser? Interesting topic. Now you have a book, you have your own syllabus. You picked or you were asked to pick by your parents, whatever it is, but you are into it. You are into engineering, or you are into MBA, or you are into commerce, but you are there already. You can't get out of it. So why are you resisting a fact? Now, if it is not an interesting topic, if you don't listen to it, the lecturer will obviously talk his or her own way, and they'll walk out. For them, it makes a zero difference. Now, according to you, if you say that it is not interesting to me, or the lecturer's English is bad, or the lecturer is not teaching the way it should not be, who are you to judge how they should teach? Who are you to say how your mother should behave? When you can't handle yourself, you can't stop your own behavior, how can you say others should behave like that? Now, if a technical teacher is teaching English and their English is not good, who is bothered? Bother about the subject, bother about the topic. And if you are not listening, only you are the loser. So next time, anything, not just listening, I'm talking about. I'm saying any situation in life where you're stuck, stop for a moment and ask yourself, what is it I am in this box? What is it I'm contributing? What is it I'm doing for it? I'll give a very simple Indianized example. Now you see a daughter-in-law getting married, I mean, newly married. She comes into the house and her brain starts saying that you have to impress everybody. Everybody should be, most of us have this attitude, like everybody should be impressed with us. They should say we are the best. And you start training others. All of them are strangers to you. And you are training them that if they call, you're running. If they want something, you're running to give. If they tell you to do something, you are like leaving everything and you're running to do it, to impress them. This will happen for a year or two. And then you come back to your home and you tell your mom, you've got a Rakshasi at home. Your mother-in-law is a demon. Your husband is a devil. They are taking a lot of advantage of you. They make you work. You're telling so many stories. Have you ever thought the first day you went, you need not impress people. Keep doing your things and automatically people will get impressed with you. Don't go out to impress. Now, the same daughter-in-law, if she walks in and she maintains her self-respect, give respect to everybody, mother-in-law, servant, husband, whoever it is, even the servant, respect them. Give them their respect. Do your job. Let everybody do their job. Don't try to snatch their jobs. Don't try to bridge people. They can't communicate. Two people are not ready to come here. You're just barging in. He's saying actually this. You're not understanding. No. Don't bridge in with anyone. Not friends. Not lecturers. Not students. No one. You be yourself. Then see, 2 years, 20 years, you'll have wonderful relationships with people. So how much are we doing it? To end this class, I wanted to make you all, if not realize, at least start thinking. That will help you a lot. That will help you a lot to have a peaceful and happy life. You stop judging. Stop being very apprehensive about everything that comes into life, and stop carrying luggage with you. Lot of bad luggage. Why this happened? Why he said so? Why this? I've seen cases, students talking about, like, since young how they were treated. They're still carrying that. So, which you can't make a change. There are two things in life, my dears. All of you listen. There is a fact and there is a problem. Only two, nothing else. And if it is a problem, you all will have a solution. On earth, there is no problem that is without solution. And if it is something other than that, then it is a fact. Don't break your head on the wall. For a fact, I can give the best example is a death. Death is the fact. You cannot fight with it. You cannot say that is a problem in your life. No. Losing someone is not a problem in our life. That is a fact in our life. Whereas everything else, relationships, maintaining people, our behavioral skills, our how we want to be, everything depends on how we are facing it, how we are telling the world to behave with us. Every problem will have a solution. Keep smiling. A smile makes a big difference in life. Okay? I hope I have not bored you a lot into the extension of the class. And whoever wants to connect with me, I'm sure the college will give you my reference. And anybody interested only in English, still they can connect with me or anything, because I'm a student counselor, by the way. I don't know whether it's been added or not. And in my introduction, just to end, I wanted to add, they were saying I did my MCom, I did my master's in commerce in business administration and psychology. According to me, only master's in psychology is everything, because MCom was done because I had to do. Somebody said, how can I stop at BCom? So I had to do my MCom. But if you ask me anything about commerce, I'm zero, no accountancy. And then I'm working into administration, so I have to do my MBA. So I did my MBA. And again, yeah, it did help while I was working. But only at 30, I realized. At 30, yeah, 35, I realized. Sorry, I'm not into this at all. Nothing works with me. So I did my psychology. And when I did my psychology, then I was complete. I knew where my happiness lies, what I do out of passion. And let me tell you, I don't go for trainings to corporates at all. I only go to college students. College students, that is all. Whether it's engineering, hotel management, film and media, whoever it is. The reason is they get connected with me easily. And I love to be with students somehow. I really love. And I'm very happy being with students, always. The last 2 hours, I'm happy to the full. And thank you. Thanks for listening to me for so long. And thank you, Soumya ma'am. Thank you, Uma Shrikant Garu, and thank you, Srinidhi College, for inviting me. Thank you all, students.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Being passionate is what it speaks all about. We can see in every word that you have uttered, ma'am. I now request our Associate Head, Dr. MBS Sudhakar sir, to please address the participants.
Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Soumya, ma'am. So, thank you, Mrs. Nandini, madam, for giving valuable inputs related to our students regarding communication skills. So, I take privilege now to express a vote of thanks to Mrs. Nandini, madam, for providing insights relating to the communication, how important it is. So thank you, ma'am, for providing various aspects relating to the communication, how to improve the communication skills, vocabulary, and how to improve the vocabulary, certain tips you have provided to our students, and how to overcome from the fear when you are facing the audience, and to overcome the stage fear. So thank you, madam. Thank you for all the inputs that you have given. And guilty of talking in front of the people, the strangers, how to overcome from that. And then lastly, you have talked about LSRW, how important it is listening, speaking, reading, writing, and had provided certain facts in the life. So all that has made the students to improve their communication skills and also know about the fact of life. Thank you, madam. Thank you very much for providing and being with us and providing certain inputs to the students.
Thank you.
I extend from the Srinidhi School of Management a heartfelt thanks to you, madam. Heartfelt thanks to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Right. So uh, we are at the verge of the 6-day student development program that we have initiated on Tuesday, on Wednesday. So the program ran very well. So the students has taken various inputs from the speakers. So through in all these 6 days program. So I really thank all the speakers. In fact, so there are nearly 4 speakers. They had came forward to help the students by providing many inputs relating to the improving their soft skills, because soft skills are very important to the students, and not only to the students, to everyone in their personal life as well as in their work life. So students have got immensely benefited from the speakers, Dr. V. Janaki madam, who has talked about emotional intelligence on the very first day. So that was in fact a very valuable session with which students have learned about how important is emotional intelligence, and they have to be balanced emotionally. And the second day we had Dr. Madhavi madam. So she has also given some inputs relating to the soft skills. Thank you so much, madam. And last 3 days we had Dr. Vani Manohar sir. So he has talked about motivation, and the students have got connected very much with Dr. Vani Manohar sir. So, and very impressive talks he has provided to us. And lastly, today we had Mrs. Nandini madam. In fact, madam, your session was an interactive session, madam. Students had were very much participative with you by listening to you and talking to you. Thank you, madam. Thank you so much. Right.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
I also thank the management school of management studies. I also thank Srinidhi for providing an opportunity to conduct such a program. Okay. Thank management, the director sir and the principal sir for providing such an opportunity to conduct the programs to the students, because students are a major stakeholders for us. We always concentrate on our students, how best we can do to our students to improve them. So that is how the management of Srinidhi thinks all the time, and has increased a lot in this journey. Thank you, madam. So I thank the HOD of SMS for taking initiative and conducting this program very well. Dr. Sandhya Rani madam, she is not now with us because she is in the meeting. So that is the reason she could not able to come and talk us here. And I thank the faculty SMS for uh, providing all the help so that to make this particular program conduct very smoothly. We are 15 and all of us collectively has contributed their efforts to conduct this program very smoothly. And lastly, the students are the actual beneficiaries, and in all these 6 days I am observing the students. They were very much participative, and they didn't miss even a single session also in all these 6 days. So they have taken all the inputs, and all the students had also submitted their assignments and feedback with utmost enthusiasm. Thank you so much, students. We promise you and assure you that these programs will be continued later dates also. Stay connected to us. Thank you so much. So thank you so much, everyone. Right, Soumya, madam. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, thank you so much for rendering vote of thanks on behalf of School of Management Studies, Trinity Institute of Science and Technology. A small announcement to all the participants. A link is shared in the chat box. I request everybody to please fill the form. It's a feedback form along with the link to provide you with the certificate. The certificate will be provided to the students who attended for a minimum of 4 days at least. And the certificate will come back to you within a couple of days. Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am,
Thank
for being
you.
with
Thank you
us.
so much.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
so
much,
much.
ma'am. So I wish all the students a best of luck for all your future endeavors. And we keep to see you again and again in the further coming programs. Thank you. Have a great day. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.